Hi everyone and welcome back. So I'm hoping by now that everyone watching this has already watched my tips for beginners video. If you followed that guide, then you should have more than enough information to get you to security level 2. But if you don't, the first tip is reaching security level 2. In the beginning of the game, you'll have just got used to the Perverme route. This is a pretty straightforward route with just zombie dudes, spider thingies and policemen. However, the mission you need to complete in order to advance to the next security level is in Bolotki village. And to get here, just take the shortcut in the room just to the right of where you would normally go to leave your safe house. You probably already knew this, but I did not, and I took a really long way round to get here. And by the time I'd realised the shortcut was here, I'd already trekked the entire way round and wasted a ton of time and ammo. Number 2, buy the M9 pistol. So yes, once you've handed in your mission and upgraded to security level 2, you will now have access to new equipment. Not all of this is worthwhile at all, but the M9 is a must buy at this stage. So select 9x19 round weapons on the computer, then buy the M9 along with 5 empty mags. That's what I'd recommend. It's an improvement to the Makarov pistol in every way. You will definitely be grateful for the increased clip size, jumping from 8 rounds to a whopping 15 rounds per clip. Number 3, get upgrading. Now that attachments are available to buy, it's time to upgrade. Take your shiny new M9 and whack it in the upgrade bin. You want to buy both the S rail and the B rail, as well as the suppressor attachment. Then walk over to the shop and buy the pistol suppressor, pistol scope, and the laser attachment. You could also buy the flashlight instead of the laser sight, but I think the laser sight is more useful. Then take a look at your shiny kitted out sidearm. This will likely be your primary weapon for most encounters now. Number 4, go overboard with your ammo. So whilst you're at the shop, stock up on ammo. The ammo for the M9 is of course the 9x19 rounds, and I would buy at least 4 boxes, which is 100 bullets in total. You will want to immediately fill up 4 of your mags, which will take up 60 rounds. The rest keep safe in your bag. This might sound like a lot of ammo, but there's nothing more irritating than having to end your excursions early because you've run out of bullets, and they weigh very little, so it's much better to carry too much than too little, and believe me, you'll end up using all of it. Number 5, keep a spare mag of AP rounds. So yes, I like to keep 4 mags full with regular FMJ rounds, keeping 1 in the gun of course, and then the other 3 on my belt. The 5th mag that I've bought, I keep full with AP rounds, and I keep this mag safe in my bag and ready to go. If I encounter an armoured enemy, I take this mag out of my bag and load it into my M9. To tell if an enemy is armoured, you will see a yellowy, orangey glow around them. You probably won't notice until they're a little bit closer, which is a bit of a pain, but you'll also probably notice that they don't die even after you empty a regular clip into them. And although these armoured enemies take a shitload of FMJ bullets to kill, they really don't eat up that many AP rounds, so it's definitely worth keeping some armour penetration ready for when you need it. For regular enemies, however, just use FMJ. It's cheaper and will be just as effective. Number 6, start repairing. So yes, for the Makarov, having your gun and mags repaired was stupidly cheap, but the M9 now costs a little bit more to repair, and you should have a good stash of sprays, toothbrushes, ramrods and toilet paper. Ramrods you might need to buy, but the other 3 you should have in spades. But now it's time to start repairing it yourself. So repair your gear each time you come home to keep it reliable and to save money on the stuff you need. Although repairing your gun is something that you can do yourself, your mags and suppressor will still need repairing in the repair bin, so still throw all of that in there once you've cleaned your gun. Although it's quite expensive to repair your gun in here, your mags and attachments are still mega cheap to restore, so keep on top of this if you can. Number 7, get yourself some headgear. Now that you're security level 2, other items are available to you, and 2 more that I'd recommend are the gas mask and the headlamp. These are both useful, and you can keep your headlamp on you wherever you go, which might help you keep your hands free when you're navigating dark areas. I don't generally use it, but it is a good option. More important, however, is the gas mask. Now, gas masks reduce the damage taken from anomalies, especially the gas anomaly, and the missions you're given when you're in security level 2 involve a lot of delving into these dangerous, irradiated areas. Equipping your gas mask allows you more time to run in, grab the cores and get out, and although it can take up a load of space in your bag, which is irritating, you can adjust it so that only a bit of it is in your bag and the rest hangs out, like you can see me doing here. Number 8, keep an eye on the tide. By now you should know about the tide. From what I can tell, it comes in every few days of game time. You can see the minutes ticking away on the top of your map. Now when this time runs out, you'll notice everything starts to lose colour, your alarm will beep, and time seems to slow down a bit. What the tide does is reset all the enemies and the loot inside the radius, but your loot back home is still safe, so don't worry about that. But what this means is that if you have any missions that might be affected by the tide, such as the broken Broken Shard missions, you will want to turn those in before this timer runs out. If you've accidentally done something like killed all the enemies that you're supposed to be taking pictures of, then you can simply wait for the tide to reset those enemies and then complete that mission. The tide can be a real pain in the ass, especially if you're low on ammo and get reset to the other side of the map. But if you pace yourself and keep an eye on that timer, you can use the tide to get some really nice loot and to complete your missions effectively. Number 9, watch for those damn webs. So a lot of the anomalies are easy to spot and they're fairly inconsequential if you do get hit by them. Webs are a different breed of irritating. You've probably already run straight into them without realizing that they're there, and you've also probably realized that once you do, you're probably gonna die from it. They tick away at your health, and unless you can quickly use a syringe to stay alive, you're probably dead. Of all the anomalies, I think the web anomaly has killed me more than all the others combined. They deal a load of damage. Number 10, last but not least, don't restrict yourself when taking pictures. This is a bit of a niche tip, but I've noticed that the paparazzi missions, although not being my favourite, are actually easier to complete than you might realise. One thing I've noticed is that you don't need to be in the assigned area to take the pictures. As long as you take a photo of the correct enemy, you're good to hand this in. So for example, some of the paparazzi missions require you to take pictures of enemies in Bolotsky village, but as long as you take the picture of that same enemy in, say, the Pervame route, then it will still accept that. So there we have it. 10 slightly more advanced tips for all you guys playing this game in the early stages. I'm still playing through this game myself, I've not finished it, but as I complete more of the game, I will keep you informed of any other tips that I might come up with. I do come up with all of these myself, so if you have any tips that you think I've missed that can help people out, then please whack those into the comments section below. Subscribe if you want to see more tips and tutorial videos like this one, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.